What's up, traders? So in today's video we're going to be talking about Bionano Genomics. I already covered this stock. I covered it back when it was at $2 and I gave my reasoning as to why it was a buy. And if you bought in then, you should be up 100% on your money. You should be up 100% return on investment. I personally bought in at $1.25 and I bought 100 shares and I'm currently up over 200% on my investment. But before we talk about this stock, if you are new here, my name is Antonio and I like to talk about stock options and high demand stocks. I upload every single day, 1 hour before market close. So if you want to get updates on hot stocks that you should be watching before market closes, make sure to like and subscribe, and most importantly, turn on the notification bell so that you never miss my uploads and updates on hot stocks. Anyways, let's get into today's video. But a disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, so do invest according to your own personal risk tolerance and after you've done your own research. So this company right now, I had people asking me if it's overbought. Should I buy? Should I not buy? Should I wait for it to pull back? And in my opinion, you shouldn't wait to buy shares. You should buy shares and then wait. Because if you are constantly waiting and trying to wait for a pullback, but it never happens, you are just going to be left behind. I also had people who were saying, should I just wait until Cathie Woods invests because that's what all the hype is about? And my rebuttal to that would be that more than likely Cathie Woods will not be investing into Bionano until it's been FDA approved, because she runs such a big investment firm that for her to invest into a penny stock that hasn't been FDA approved seems very risky and a little bit irresponsible. But that's why I think she won't invest into this company until it's been FDA approved. Another thing that I need to address is people who say that it might be overbought and due for a correction. My rebuttal to that would be, if we look at the PAC-B's or Pacific Bio's chart, they kind of rocketed up as well. As we can see here, they went from $4 up to $13. And if you were waiting for a pullback to $5, well, it never came, and it still hasn't. And then from there, from $14, it went down to what was it, $13.11, and then from there, it just continued to go up and up and up. So if you're one of those people who's just waiting for it to pull back, it's just not gonna happen unless they do have some bad news. Because right now, it is at a cheap price. And a lot of people are weighing the risks and they're saying that the risk is worth the reward. The risk of $4 per share is worth the reward of it going up to 20. That's a pretty good risk reward ratio if you ask me. You're risking $4 to potentially make 16 or maybe $26 if it goes up to 30. So that's a pretty good risk reward ratio. Now, if we read this part, it says Bionano's genome mapping platform could be a game changer, says analyst. So if we go down here, it says digital cytogenetics is one of the areas where Sapphire has the potential to change the clinical diagnostic landscape. The 5-star analyst said current methods are labor and time intensive and therefore costly. Sapphire offers a more efficient and streamlined alternative, as well as potentially improved diagnostic yield. So of course, this new Sapphire machine versus the old competition that they have, well, the new Sapphire machines are just, they're less labor and time intensive and they just save money. Therefore, they're saving new companies money and time, and they're giving companies better results. So now if we look at this part, we can see that return on capital employed overview for Bionano Genomics. Well, first of all, what is ROCE? So if we look at ROCE, it stands for return on capital employed. It is a financial ratio that determines a company's profitability and efficiency. The capital is applied. A higher ROCE implies a more economical use of capital. The ROCE should be higher than the capital cost. Now, changes in earnings and sales indicate shift in Bionano Genomics return on capital employed, a measure of yearly pre-tax profit relative to capital employed by a business. Generally, a higher ROCE suggests successful growth of a company and is a sign of higher earnings per share in the future. Now, I'm going to get into why this they still have room to expand on this and why you shouldn't completely be too caught up on this. Because it does say in Q3, Bionano Genomics posted an ROCE of negative 0.7%, and negative 0.7% for a penny stock that was trading back then at like 90 cents. It was pretty significant. But at the same time, it says right here, and I'll get into another thing shortly, it says it is important to keep in mind ROCE evaluates past performance and is not used as a predicative tool. Therefore, you don't use this tool to predict a company's financial score in the future. It is a good measure of a company's recent performance, but several factors could affect earnings and sales in the future. And that's true. Bionano was recently trading at under $100. Therefore, NASDAQ kind of gave them a compliance period because you need to be closing in at a bid price of $1 per share, and Bionano was not at that. So we see here that says June 28, 21. That's the date that they got. Announced today that NASDAQ has granted the company an additional 180-day compliance period, or until June 28, 2021, to regain compliance with NASDAQ minimum of $1 closing bid price per share requirement. And so far they are now at $4, therefore they have increased pretty drastically in price, and you shouldn't really be worried too much about this. Now, another thing that I want to touch on really quickly about PAC-B or Pacific Biosciences is that ARK Invest did sell a significant portion of their, not a significant portion, but they did sell from the ARK-K ETF $1.4 million worth of shares, and from the ARK-G ETF they did sell $1.2 million worth of shares. And I think that was mainly due to the fact that they are now finding this company Bionano, who is doing what Pacific Bios is doing it, but they're doing it better, and therefore it's kind of risky to be holding this PAC-B shares that could drop just because of the sentiment of the market. Doesn't necessarily mean that Pacific Biosciences is going to go bankrupt or anything, but it does offer the question that Pacific Biosciences could drop just to an overreaction in the market, and then eventually in the future ARK could get in at a cheaper price. So that would be a smart way for them to just kind of like manage their position a little bit. But now I feel like some of you guys might be asking, like, why do you want to know about your genomes? Like, what is the importance of knowing about genomes? Now, the importance of a machine that can check up on someone's genomes is that it allows for early detection. Early detection is very important in certain things, such as, for example, cancer. There's a difference between figuring out someone has cancer quickly as opposed to when they're like stage 4, like terminally ill, and there's nothing that they can do for them anymore. And these are things that the entire company of Bionano is trying to improve on and is trying to further advance in. So that's why early detection can be something that is so crucial to someone living or dying, and that's why having a machine that can detect these things at such a way better rate than other machines is such a big improvement for them. If we look on their Twitter, it does say our next generation cytogenomics symposium will cover childhood leukemia as well. It's honestly just amazing that they're making improvements on this, and yeah, it's just awesome. Now, another thing that we can touch on for Bionano is that they do have a possibility to be FDA approved because of who they recently hired. So they hired their first ever chief medical officer, who is Dr. Alka Chaubey, and they have experience previously on other FDA approval things. So if we read down here, the more or less important part of this is, well, I'll just read you guys this part of the article so you guys can just understand kind of more or less what's going on with it. So Bionano Genomics announced today that Dr. Alka Chaubey will join Bionano as its first chief medical officer effective August 31st, 2020. So this did happen a while ago. Dr. Chaubey is well known throughout the molecular diagnostics and cytogenetics communities for contributions to innovative directed towards improving patient outcomes by making the clinical testing process more efficient and more effective. Her breadth of experience includes developing and validating clinical tests, leading the process to obtain FDA clearance for whole genome cytogenetic tests, engaging with third-party payers to obtain reimbursements for novel assays, running clinical trials, and leading CLIA certified CAP accredited laboratories as their laboratory director. So that's where she comes in. She is almost like she was brought in as reinforcements to more or less back up Bionano and help them do what they need to do, improve on what they need to improve to be FDA cleared. And if we read down here, it says a Bionano Sapphire based test for FSHD1 and other sequencing based tests include a whole genome sequencing. She was also central in the FDA clearance for the first IVD whole genome microarray cytoscan DX from Affirmetrix, now part of the Thermo Fisher Scientific. Dr. Chaubey is widely respected as a thought leader and innovative in the cytogenetic and molecular diagnostic community, serving on multiple advisory boards and consortia management boards. So therefore, she's kind of being brought in to be the reinforcements. Like I said, you can kind of read up on her right here if you want. Go ahead and pause the video, but I don't really want to stretch it out too much because what I needed to address has kind of been addressed. And now for the big dog holders of this Bionano stock, if you have a bunch of shares, you might be interested in signing up for one of their webcasts to see if you can pick out something that can be a good catalyst or maybe not a good catalyst. Here it is. You can sign up on it, maybe visit their Twitter and get the link. But yeah, guys, so with these companies, along with every company traded in the stock market, they will go up and they will go down. It's how the market works. But if you've done your own research and you believe in the company long term, then you can invest. Don't buy some shares and on the first step panic sell. That's how you lose money in the stock market. You need to be patient. You need to believe in the company you've invested into, and you need to allow them to grow and expand, and then you as an investor can reap the rewards. If you're unsure about your investments, you should possibly consider taking some profits or reducing your investment size. But anyways, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Invest according to your own personal risk tolerance. months, and be sure to preserve your capital. Let me know what you guys think of this company and what your plan is in the comments down below, as well as ask questions. Also be sure to like and subscribe to support the channel and to show me guys that you like this type of content. And if you do, then be sure to expect more. But that's been it, guys. Peace. I also want to say thank you guys so much for the support recently. On December 12th, I had 130 subscribers. This channel was kind of dead. I had kind of just given up on it, and like 3 weeks later, we have 600 subscribers. We've gained like close to 500 subscribers in 3 weeks, which is just insane. Thank you guys for that, and also happy New Year's. Here's to a great year with hopefully lots of returns on investments. And yeah, guys, but now that's been it, guys. Peace.